have reality to be focused on me. I'm on TV. I am a Vidiot. I don't even know where to look. I'm just going to start. Hey, welcome back everybody to Vidiot On Demand. I'm your host, Philip Williams. And with me I have a very special guest. It's my friend Oscar.
What up, people?
So Oscar and I, we go way back. We were in how many musicals together? Was it just the one, or did we do two? I feel like we did two.
I think it was just the one, and we did Hair together.
Yeah, it was Hair.
That was back in 2014, so yeah.
Pretty cool. But even then, I knew what a glorious nerd you were. And I was just like, wow, this guy's got knowledge like I don't know what. Like, I thought I knew a bunch of crazy stuff that no one should know, but his like photographic memory is what really got me. And hopefully it'll be on display in this video. But before we continue, let's just do a quick like, what are you up to? What's your like? Do you have anything to plug? Like, what's your?
Yeah, sure. If anyone is interested, you can listen to me in an episode of X-Men: The Audio Drama, which is currently on YouTube.
That's cool. That is really cool. X-Men: The Audio Drama.
Yeah, I'm a big comic book nerd fan, obviously, and I managed to stumble onto this like fan podcast, which is called X-Men: The Audio Drama, which is basically they take the original stories told in the X-Men comics and sort of rework them and remodernize them. So the first season is from the 60s onto the 70s, and then the second season is the Dark Phoenix saga, and right now we're on the third season, and we just did Days of Future Past.
Oh, that is so cool. So and do you what character do you play? That's a good question.
In Days of Future Past, I play a gang leader, which I get my ass kicked by Wolverine like in the first 20 minutes.
That alone is worth it. I mean, like, anybody can say, like, yeah, I get to play this and this and this, but you get your ass handed to you by Wolverine. That's pretty special.
And I'm alive to talk about it too, so that's...
Yeah. Exactly. Not many people can do that.
No.
That is so awesome. Cool. So in this crazy new episode where we're going to try to talk to somebody on Zoom, far away in a different city even, I believe, yeah, we're thinking of keeping it safe, socially distanced, but that doesn't mean our nerd brains can't connect and unite. With that said, let's talk about that crazy trailer that saved all of nerddom. And I'm talking about Godzilla Vs Kong. A lot of people say that this is one of the best trailers to come out in a long time. I think because it's such a trailer that's like, it's literally the type of thing you gotta see on the big screen kind of vibe. Everybody... Yeah. I mean, yeah. Go ahead. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, like from the get-go, from the first... like punch that Kong throws at Godzilla, I'm like, I gotta see this in a theater. Because
I know, right?
There's no way in hell I'm gonna stream on like a TV or a computer screen. Like, I need to experience this in like full theater. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the scale. I think one of the things that the trailer does very well is they give you that sense of scale. Like the bit where he's on the ship and then here comes Godzilla crawling out, and you can see the details of like little water droplets that land on the camera lens.
Yeah.
That gives you a sense of this is what it would look like if you're standing right underneath these two.
Yeah, like, oh, I have only 2 seconds left to live. Nice.
Exactly. So do you have any theories on how this movie is going to go? Because they're really saying that one of these guys, one of these big monsters will be crowned king, the other will fall. Notice how they say fall and not die, because, you know, we still got a lot of money to make.
Yeah. But I had a thought earlier this day, and it occurred to me, like, throughout both Skull Island and this movie, they only refer to Kong as just Kong. But what if this is the movie where he gets crowned as King Kong?
I've actually heard that theory
Yeah.
too, and that is an interesting one. Like, but I am under the impression that the only reason why Kong Skull Island and he's not referred to as Kong in this movie, I think it literally is something as boring as a rights issue. That maybe like the idea of if you say King Kong, then it has to specifically be attached to the story of King Kong as we saw in the 30s and the one that Peter Jackson did in back in what '05 or whenever that movie came
Yeah, oh
out.
05 or
I
oh
feel
04.
like yeah, and so there's a sense of like maybe that is the reason why like some like oh you can use King Kong but then you have to literally tell this story or something like that and just saying Kong gets them a workaround. But I do love that
Yeah,
idea
maybe.
of him being crowned king by the end of this. But then you'd have a whole bunch of nerds that are like, no way, Godzilla is got to win. So what are your thoughts about that?
Well, here are also another thoughts. Like I've heard chatter everywhere, as you do when a new trailer gets released. And the thing is, there might not be only just one Godzilla in this movie.
Ah, yes, I've heard the same thing. I've heard that the setup because I didn't even bother to watch the last one to be honest because there's something I don't know
Okay.
why. For some reason I just felt that the last film was kind of meh and I've heard mixed reviews like some people
Yeah.
said it was like it's okay. Uh but from what I understand that there's a little bit of setup in that movie that they're going to tackle in this one that could mean that Apex the the rivals
Yeah.
to Monarch would be trying to make their Mecha Godzilla, and they're probably
Yeah.
going to use what was it? Not King Ghidorah, or is it? I forget. The one of the
Yeah.
three
King
head
Ghidorah.
one. I forget which one.
Yeah. King
Yeah,
Ghidorah.
they're going to use the one head that they got and try to use his brain and the skeletal remains of the past Godzilla to make a Mecha Godzilla. And if you look at certain points in the trailer, the man who plays the son of Let Them Fight, Ken Watanabe's character, he's standing in front of a screen where
Yeah.
it looks like, uh-oh, there's some sort of mechanical thing that could be battery system failure, something that maybe he's in charge. I don't know. So there's a lot of, there could be they punch for a bit and then they're mates at the end because they go, oh, there's a big threat and it's a mechanical one. Man was the true monster all along kind of thing.
Exactly. But this is kind of reminiscent of the first like Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla movie because in that movie they were like Godzilla had been the good guy for quite a while up until that movie, and then
Mhm.
all of a sudden he's like attacking Tokyo and like just destroying things, and people are like,
Okay.
well, I thought Godzilla was on our side. Like, what the hell's happening? And then it's revealed that during a fight with the real Godzilla, it's shown that the other Godzilla is like just a Terminator. He's like wearing a second skin over his metallic body. So I don't know.
Ah.
Might be some connection with that.
Yeah, I think that they're going because the smart thing is to try to write a new story that has a lot of the elements that fans have come to love, but do very much the Marvel thing of like here's something you recognize, but we're gonna tell it a little differently, but different enough for you, but same enough for you to go that's a great callback or that's a good reference. And this movie has got me more excited than the last movie. And I enjoyed Kong Skull Island, but it didn't feel 100% like, yeah, this is great. It was more like, this was a fun little romp, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to
Yeah,
this
me
one.
too. And because of a very simple thing, it looks like it's going to be a ton of fun. Like that is the main ingredient. Because
Yeah.
I love the other Godzilla films and even Kong Skull Island that came before, but some of the problem I have with it is that they take themselves too damn seriously. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. Because the first one really wanted to, the first one, and by that I mean the 2014 Godzilla, I
yes.
believe. That one was very much like, hey, we got to pay homage to the very first Godzilla, which in essence was like the horrors of war, the horrors of nuclear
Yeah.
war, which was what the original one was doing a lot of. And it's like, okay, yeah, but we don't, I mean, I enjoyed it for that, but I also like a lot of people complained that it was like not enough monster action. Why are we cutting away when it gets good and too many humans? And that's another thing in these movies. You wouldn't mind it just being the monsters going at it for 2 hours, but then you have all these human characters that are going, I gotta find out what this is, and then maybe they happen to do one little thing that because I find it intriguing. You have these new characters, like 3 new characters, and one of them is the little deaf girl who has the little doll, which I hope is on Etsy right now that you can buy.
We could probably find it at some sci-fi
cool.
con or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, but and apparently she's actually a real deaf girl that they got to play this character, which is great for representation.
Yeah.
I love that. But I think that'll be an interesting thing because, and what I commented when we off air, I talked about how they really seem to be going, Kong has this heart and blah blah blah. Like we're gonna root for Kong because he's kind of the underdog. Because we've seen Godzilla like really kick butt before, but now there's not enough in this trailer for us to go, all we know is that something's wrong with Godzilla. He's attacking people now.
Yeah.
As if he didn't do that before, but there's also, it's like, we need something that anchors Godzilla, like give him some motivation. Because I know he's being puppeted by Apex and they're probably going to blah, 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 you know. This is literally like Superman versus Batman, like, oh, I got,
or who...
We can make the Mothra joke. Everyone's doing the Mothra joke.
Which lines up so...
Why did you say that name?
Lines up so perfectly.
It lines up too perfectly, and that's why it's like, okay. But hopefully they stay away from anything that weird and tropey. But yeah, I'm really excited. So on a scale from, I don't even have a rating system for how excited we are about this, but let's try to come up with one now.
About like 9.5 or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, seriously, yeah, I'd say I'm pretty excited that of the new trailers that have come out. That this seems really awesome. So that's our Godzilla vs Kong talk. A god versus a king. Which one wins? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm a big comic book nerd fan, obviously,